What's up, guys? Welcome back to FishOfHex. Today we're doing our weekly rambling video. Promise you guys I'd get this kind of stuff out to you. And this is where I talk about everything that's going on project-wise, mini updates, kind of client builds, all that kind of stuff, and kind of pick my brain and give you a little bit of one-on-one time. So first thing we're going to look at here is the 30-gallon Nuvo, and you guys can see that it looks pretty different. It's definitely bare bottom now. And yes, there's a few things that led up to this, and we're going to kind of go over that briefly. I will give you a full update and kind of breakdown of everything that happened, but basically the skimmer died about 3 weeks ago. Had it for 5 months, completely died, and I don't know, I gave it CPR, took it apart, cleaned it, never turned back on. Also, my Chaeto reactor lights, they're not on right now, but basically I have two strips there. I have the red and the blue, and then I have the white 32K, and the white completely died about 2.5 weeks ago, and the Chaeto reactor just stopped growing completely. Now, if you go ahead and put those two things together with overfeeding and eel to keep him happy and keep his aggression down, it just led to some nutrient issues with the tank. And basically, it came down to me having to remove him, put him back into the quarantine system, which you guys will see here in a minute, and basically putting a smaller fish in here for the sake of keeping the stock, remove the sand. Now, the sand wasn't full of algae or anything like that, but because we are not doing the Triton test build anymore, and I hate sand, like I absolutely despise it for the simply the reason I don't like the way it looks, it kind of worked out well with the fact that I was going to remove it, and I just kind of used the nutrient issue as part of an excuse to just get it done and over with. Now, as for coral growth, everything is still growing and doing well. Parameters are stable, 8.5 DKH, 415-ish calcium, mag is a normal range, and everything is growing. I do have a little bit of an issue with one acro here. You're not going to be able to see it, but it is starting to bleach out. Basically, when I had the spike in nutrients, it started happening. Since I've removed the majority of the issues, pretty much did a full 100% water change, the acro has stopped bleaching out, but I'm probably still going to frag it up just to save it. And here's a little Anthias here. He's just chilling. It's kind of cool. He just came out of quarantine. Spent a few weeks in copper, and he's doing pretty good. So he's going to be the only stock at the moment until the system kind of restabilizes, and yeah, it's good to go. So let's go to move over to the desk here. Now, it's actually my coral workstation. This is where I cut all the coral. The camera's jacked up. We have our dipping buckets back here, which I just replaced with a 10-gallon tank with a MaxiJet pump. So that's where all the coral will be coming in next week. It will be dipped in here with Bear and Coral RX. Then it will come over here, be inspected with the magnifying glass that you guys saw in my previous video. And we'll check out, see if there's anything on it, good to go. And then we'll frag it out and then put it in the frag system. So yes, cool little area here. Definitely like having this space. There's some stuff here. Oh, here's my Triton potassium. You guys want to guess why it's in this container or not? It's an original one. Bet you can't guess why. I'm going to put your comments below on why you think it's like that. If you're following me on Instagram, you probably already know. But yeah, so that is the fragging area. And we might as well look at this. This is Jeff's stuff here. I'm going to his house today. It's at 150 in wall. You guys saw a build of that probably like 7 months ago or something. But we're going to be adding some screen mesh tops to his 150. We got a new Kessel 380 for his refugium, some big old filter socks that we're putting on there just to help keep the water a little bit clearer. So yeah, we're going to be doing that today, and you guys will get an update on that tank here in the near future. Moving over to the 300, yes, it's blue. It's very blue. Everything is doing very well in this tank. All the fish are happy. I cut the feeding back to every other day. I also removed the GFO because I was getting low readings on the per the Triton test kit there. And I just went ahead and because I only had literally a half a cup of GFO in this tank in the first place, I just went ahead and removed it all together. What we're going to do is we're going to keep it off for about 2 months, and no water changes. We're going to feed every other day, and then we're going to do the Triton ICP test again and see exactly, I think I'm going to feed them. I'm not feeding you, you just ate. We're going to see exactly how they're doing, or how the phosphates are doing. Now, I only have 4 Radion XR15s. I have 4 more that will be going on there at some point, but we're going to get XR15s on the frag systems before I put any more on this tank because, yeah, it's blue, I know, but it's good to go. So, yeah, that is the 300 gallon. It's pretty much on autopilot. I don't have to do anything but feed it at this point. Moving over here to the RO station, we have the usual dual 150-day membranes, dual DI. I went ahead and put my Apex bar over here, so it's kind of an extra one I had, and it works out great. I added this little switch, which is a freaking lifesaver. It actually turns the pump on here, and it just makes life so much easier when I'm doing auto top off water. I don't have to go into the app or anything like that. And of course that connects to the little switch that goes to the Apex. I forgot the name off the top of my head. But yeah, so we got a 55-gallon drum, which I want to replace with a white one and pull water from the bottom. I just like that a little bit better. And then we have our 175-gallon water storage bin, which almost empty. We've got to fill out some ATOs, so I'll probably fill it up after that. And yeah, breakout box. That is what it's attached to. I'm not going to turn the light on, so we're going to have a little bit of shading here. This is going to be the refugium / sump, all that kind of stuff for the frag system. We got our Javo doser, all good to go. We have our filter sock holder, which I'm doing a couple more weeks before I do a review on that and a build video on those filter sock holders. I want to make sure that they work out good. So far, they're good. Also, I have the DIY skimmer swabby. I'm giving it another couple weeks before I do a review on that and kind of show you guys the build video. But right now, you guys can see it's working. It's been 2 weeks, and that's what I got so far. Seems to be doing well. There is no marine pure in this system. I took it all out, and when we do an update, I'll talk about the reason behind that. But yeah, it's working pretty good. The surge modes are on, so you're going to hear it kind of spitting. This is the dual reactor and all the good modules for the Apex. Then moving over to the frag system, again, it's going to be blue. We're rocking 3 SB Reef Light PCB boards, which will be replaced with Radions as soon as I kind of get around to it. There's absolutely no coral. I mean, you see coral, but in the grand scheme of things, that tank is almost empty, and then the bottom one is completely empty. Now, you guys can see the reflection of my house slippers. It's pretty manly, right? Don't judge me. Anyways, there's like no coral. Like I mentioned in my previous video, as soon as I get stuff in, it's gone. I got an order coming in on Tuesday. You guys will see all that stuff, and I won't put it on the website live until I get that video out, so I can give you guys an opportunity to support the Reef Tank for Veterans program. And speaking of that, I will do an additional video. Basically, I removed the combat action badge and the CIB off the requirements for that program. I felt it wasn't necessary after talking to a lot of people, and again, I'll do an in-depth video, probably you guys will see in a couple days on why I took that off. But yeah, the only stocking in this tank right now is a algae blenny, or lawnmower blenny, you guys can call it that. And I'll probably put a couple Anthias in here next week, just for the sake of ordering. Now, I will also be adding, because of the Anthias, I will be adding these mesh tops. And that's been sitting there for a couple weeks. I got to get that done before the fish come in, of course. Because I actually found a few, you can't see them, well, they're not in there anymore, but I had a couple fish just chilling back there with that fly that decided to jump coop. So I'm going to put some tops on there, and hopefully that won't happen anymore. Now, moving over to a project that I kind of like to do is grow vegetables down here. It's pretty sweet. I'm trying out these 2 lights. I've already had these. You guys seen reviews on these lights. I have a couple 300-watt LEDs coming in next week. But yeah, I usually grow vegetables down here or in the basement when I can. And it's just the usual stuff I eat for salads. And I also grow outside. But I like to have stuff down here all year long if I can. And yeah, so that worked out well. I will do a kind of a walkthrough video on that at some point if you guys are interested, but if not, it's not really part of the hobby, so not really any reason to talk about it. But yeah, so let's go to move over to the quarantine system. Excuse the speed of that. No fish in this tank. There will be on Tuesday. I went ahead and moved the eel back in here. He seems a lot happier in this tank. I think it's because the light is not as bright, but it also kind of gives them, I feel like there's more hiding places. And yeah, those are the marine pier balls from the 30 gallon. Took those out, and again, I'll discuss why in a later video. We have the yellow tang. He's going to JP's, what, 75 gallon tank with a 65 gallon sump. He'll be going there next week. And no fish in here. No fish in the bottom one. But we do have the Scopus tank for the 300 in this tank. So yeah, he's over here, just chilling, kind of. Probably can't see him because of the glare. But anyways, he'll be going into the 300 in 2 weeks. He's coming out of hypo within the next few days, and we'll start slowly bringing him up. And then we'll put him in copper for a couple weeks, and then he'll be good to go for the 300. But yeah, guys. Oh, shit, almost forgot. Get through the mess here. Here is the frag quarantine tank. I showed that briefly in another video, but this is my work stuff, so don't worry about that. This is pretty cool. It's cycling right now. Now, that rock has been cured for 3 months, but I did let it sit outside for a couple months or so, so all the bacteria is dead. But I went ahead and put it in here, so this tank is kind of cycling at the moment. Pretty good. I had the light for it, just not putting it on right now because there's not really a reason for it. But yeah, you guys will see more in depth on this build series as well as the coral I put in there soon enough. Anyway guys, that's about it for this video. I hope you enjoyed it, and I'll see you guys later. Peace.